How are we doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Frieren Beyond Journey's End chapter review. Today we're going to be going over chapter 132 entitled Chase. It should have been entitled The Wolves Among Us because, wow, I have nothing but fear in my heart for what's going on in the story. It basically picks up right after the shenanigans of last chapter with Yubel and Land escaping from prison, which honestly was such a great Yubel moment of destroying an entire tower. Yubel is queen, she's the GOAT. I need to elaborate no further on that. But we cut back to Frieren and the gang in this chapter, and again, it really shows us the stakes when it comes to the assassination of Zerie, because surprise, surprise, when we cut back to Frieren, we're going magical shopping in the Imperial City. Now, I expected this to be a little bit of a light-hearted chapter, even though we are knee-deep in an arc, but I was wrong, because what seems to be a simple shopping method was, oddly enough, showing more and more how Frieren continues to act weirder as we spend longer in the Imperial City. If you noticed before, Fern thought it was very, tragedy-inducing, harbinger of destruction almost, like an Absol from Pokemon that Frieren got up early and got herself ready and everything like that. Right after telling Stark and Fern, hey, go on, I'm gonna go to the shop, she turns around and goes, actually, you know what, Stark, come with me. And at first Stark thinks this is just because it's, you need a bargain, maybe Frieren's just second guessing herself, maybe she's worried, she needs to intimidate people, normal Frieren shenanigans. Although this seems a little bit different. Conveniently enough already, the salesman has like a special historical item that someone only like Frieren would want. So when she goes to buy it, which one, it's a fake item, so that adds to the suspiciousness. But two, something that makes me even more suspicious, because I know of all people, when Frieren thinks you're sketchy, you're probably sketchy. Girl's never wrong. And let me tell you, when they go to exchange money, he hands his hand out to take the money, and she immediately gives him the stink eye. She shrugs it off and everything goes on like normal. However, that stink eye means something. And I think we'll find out what it means more as we move into the next character moment of this chapter, which goes into Denken, the GOAT best boy over here. Love Denken. Denken is apparently leaving for his hometown. He's got urgent business to attend to. Not sure what that is, but as we'll find out later, he doesn't exactly feel too comfortable in the Imperial City despite it being his home. Denken goes to return a book and says, oh, I'm going home. And the librarian makes this very vague and interesting comment and says, oh, it's probably gonna be a long trip, good luck. Huh? Denken goes, I've never told you where I live and how far it is. Why would you just say something like that, like you know where I'm from? Suspiciously, the librarian tries to play it off. Oh, I probably just heard someone else say it or heard you say it in passing somewhere. Ha ha ha. No, ha 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 ha. What's going on? This is definitely weird. But you know what? Denken plays it off in the absolute best way possible, which is what I love him for, to be honest. Denken immediately responds with information and sly intelligence on the librarian's half alone. Oh, I also know this about you. Kind of in like a very, snarky, like, oh, you're not the only one that plays in the shadows. Don't fuck with me because trust me, there's nothing to mess with here. And she holds character, surprisingly, but I think this explains to me that all of these sketchy characters that we're slowly encountering and the smarter members of our party are realizing, they're the Shadow Warriors. They're these motherfuckers that have been coming after us and are plotting to assassinate Zerie. It's undoubtedly at this point that from the librarian's slip up and from Frieren's stink eye of the merchant, I think it's clear to say that these people are hurting us. We are very deep in the spider's web and we didn't even realize it. We obviously have the Imperials to deal with on our own. Yubel and Land figured that out real quick. However, the Shadow Warriors are a whole nother threat, an even bigger one, because I don't know if you remember the last encounter that we had with them, but the fact that Frieren almost died had not, one, everyone not been present, and two, this being a Shadow Warrior who it's been decades since his last hunt and he's just become accustomed to the simple life and peaceful life, and he's kind of given it up, and he was willing to say, you know what, I'll let you walk away. I don't even know why I was after you for so long, but at this point, I am not a Shadow Warrior anymore. Thank God. These guys seem very young, some of them old. Either way, doesn't seem like these guys have made the same character decisions that we've got. Denken and Sensei meet up to discuss the plot and everything like that. And Denken kind of offers the sadness of the role that he's playing, which I have to relate to him to a certain degree, because she asks him, do you know about the plot to assassinate Zerie? He's like, no, I don't. And first of all, if you're accusing me of anything, I want you to realize something. Why would anyone of the Imperials or people working for the Imperials, whatever plot there may be, why would they tell me that? I'm a first-class mage on your side. And he goes, I mean, if anything, you guys didn't even tell me about this big mission that you're plotting. All of these first-class mages are in my city to protect Zerie, and none of you guys even talked to me about it. So if you have to realize this, I'm playing both sides, and now no one trusts me whatsoever. My own people don't trust me. You guys don't trust me. I'm basically forced to walk my own path. I assume that's why he's either going home, or maybe there's other reasons, but it is a sad situation that Denken finds himself in. Of course, he admits that he would never regret becoming a first-class mage. It's what allowed him to gain access to his hometown in the first place and give him that closure. The whole mocked arc peak. As we cut back, Sensei returns to Frieren and the gang. Frieren is just being honestly a dick, for lack of a better word. Very upset about the counterfeit item that she received. However, I think it's a little bit more than that. Fern does try to, play it off and say, oh, Miss Frieren gets upset sometimes and she lashes out. It happens every decade or so, you get used to it. She's just saying random stuff to piss Sensei off and say, oh, your hair smells like blood. Obviously, that's not true. Sensei's got the most perfect hair in the world. But much like Denken, I think she's also realizing they're surrounded and things are probably not going to end well, and things are already starting to go off rails very quickly. She claims that she wants to go back to the merchant and return the counterfeit item, but more importantly, she needs to go check and investigate something out. And again, if Frieren is onto something, then she's probably right. Same with Denken. I think Denken understands the smarter characters of everyone are slowly discovering what's going on. And right after that, we actually do cut to the meeting of the Shadow Warriors. All 8 of them. 2 missing. One that's missing is their blacksmith, supposedly. And the second that's missing is their leader, the leader of this gang of Shadow Warriors. And again, there's 8 of them. The librarian and the merchant are indeed a part of them. There's multiple different ones of the church, and it seems like they're all playing different roles of society. I mean, one of them is literally playing like a vagabond, like a homeless person, which I wonder if they pick straws to see who got that role. That kind of sucks. Or maybe you get to pick your own role. Who knows? But either way, I don't want to be the homeless person. This is your role. You don't have a choice. Man. Way off topic. I'm sorry. Ultimate goal of theirs is clearly to assassinate Zerie, which it seems like the leader is going off to potentially do on his own, right? Again, we don't know how strong these Shadow Warriors are. One of the basic ones was enough to almost kill the entire Frieren party, so they're a leader of a gang of Shadow Warriors beating Zerie. As unbelievable as that sounds to me, you, and apparently everyone in the series, that might be what happens. All the other Shadow Warriors are listed with killing the intruders, which I don't need to spell that out for you, that is us and the first class mages, everything like that. The one thing I will say about this arc is there's so many different pieces and layers around this in-depth arc that has honestly felt like a little bit of a slow burn with how much setup we've gotten from the very beginning. And I think obviously with the end game point of this, or the ticking time bomb being the death of Zerie, something that would change the world of Frieren as we know it, I'm happy that we're getting so much setup and all these different moving pieces going on. And I'm really excited to see what the heck happens in this arc. Now that hiatus is over, I can't wait for the next chapter, guys. Last chapter was great. This chapter is great. And I'm sincerely excited to see where it goes. But one thing you can definitely count on is me covering it every chapter that comes out. So make sure you hit that like button to let me know you enjoyed this cover, and hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss a single other one. Make sure you check out the main channel for more polished content, and also feel free to check out this channel for any other series that you might read weekly or ongoing. and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.